who's going to be the next Conservative leader?
Well, I would never want to try and place a bet against the Conservative membership. But in terms of the final two, it's looking like James Cleverly and one other, probably Robert Jenrick. And of course, what's so significant about the result last night, when James Cleverly went from third to first place, and I think this is off the back of a particularly poor Conservative Party conference in Birmingham for Kemi, where she made a number of gaffes, is that he now has such a lead that he can lend votes to his preferred rival. So, and I've been speaking to somebody in his camp who's like adamant that they just wanted to secure the largest mandate possible from MPs. But make no mistake, they'll be weighing up their options this morning to see who do they actually prefer in a runoff when it comes to the party members, and then they'll give that individual. I think it'll probably be Kemi. Probably be giving votes to Robert Jenrick.
So you're not sure
Sorry,
who's going to be.
Because Kemi's more of a threat to him when it comes to the membership.
Exactly.
And just explain what happens when the membership picks a leader of the Conservative Party that the MPs haven't chosen as a favourite.
Yes,
because that hasn't ended well twice in the past, has it?
We had particularly with Liz Truss, the members picked Liz Truss, and she didn't have the endorsement necessarily of all of the MPs, and that ended badly. And I think what one of the narratives that James Cleverly is trying to put across, and we'll be hearing more of this over the next few days, is that actually, look, I have the support of MPs. Now to the members, if you support me, then there's going to be this, if you like, this synergy, for want of a better word, between the MPs and the party members. There's not going to be this dysfunction. Of course, party members felt very angry at the way that they felt that Rishi Sunak was foisted upon them, and they didn't like it.
The other example was Ian Duncan-Smith, where that was disastrous for the party. It will be very interesting. 3:30 this afternoon, we'll find out who probably will be facing Cleverly. All to play for.
We want to go now and speak to Robert Jenrick, who is one of the contestants, shall we say, for the leadership of the Conservative Party on this Wednesday morning. Robert, are you feeling lucky?
Well, good morning, Eamon. Very nice to be on the programme. Look, I'm delighted to be well placed as we go into the final ballot of Conservative MPs later today. Hopeful that we can get into the final, and then it'll be up to the Conservative Party members to choose who they think is best placed to take the party forward into the future.
Well placed, but leapfrogged by your colleague James Cleverly. What do you think's going wrong for you? Because you were the favourite.
Well, there's always horse trading in these things, particularly as you enter the final stages. I'm really pleased to be in the top two and looking forward to the ballot later today. Very well placed, I think, to go forward into the final. But on a serious note, what really matters here is who is going to address the big challenges facing this country right now. And that is what I've tried to do throughout this leadership contest, whether it's securing our borders, getting growth going again in our economy, or fixing the NHS and our public services. I've set out specific policies, not platitudes, ways in which we can regain the trust and the confidence of the British public. And all the polling suggests that I am best placed to win back the millions of voters we lost to Reform and those that we lost on our left to the Lib Dems, regain the common ground of British politics. And that's what matters, because unless we do that, there's no future for the Conservative Party. We will face years in the political wilderness. I don't want that for the party or for the country. And so the case that I'm making to colleagues in Parliament now is to support the person who's going to provide serious, professional, competent leadership that's focused on the big issues facing our country.
And what, Robert, would be the issue that would require your attention at that level? What do you believe is the most serious issue that has to be addressed?
Well, throughout the contest, I've said that whoever you are, whether you voted Labour, Lib Dem, Reform, you name it, there are three principal issues: the NHS, immigration and the economy. And I've put forward serious, specific policies to address those. But the first thing we've got to do is get back the Reform voters that we lost. And if we don't do that by having someone who's got real credibility on this issue and has a track record, as I did when I resigned from Cabinet because I felt it was so important to the future of the party and the country, we'll never do that. And the clear stances I've taken, like leaving the ECHR, massively increasing the deportations of illegal migrants from our country and having a cap set by Parliament for legal migration in the tens of thousands. Those are the policies that are going to restore the trust of the millions of people, small c Conservatives, who should see my party as their natural home, bring them back to the Conservative Party. If we don't do that, then I'm afraid there isn't a future for the Conservative Party. That sends the signal
that the lessons that you have taken from this terrible loss for the Conservatives at the last election is that you weren't right-wing enough. Now, you've got people on the left of your party, if you like, more centre ground, where you've got the former Justice Secretary, Robert Buckland, saying that this talk of leaving the ECHR, and of which you're the only one in contention that's proposing that, makes the party look weird. You're comfortable with taking the party in that direction?
Well, I don't actually see this as about left or right at all. I see it about reclaiming the common ground of British politics. Millions of people in our country who have voted for all different political parties care passionately about securing our borders, about controlling and reducing immigration, about being tough on crime and terrorism, and having a more united and integrated country. That's what I want to see. That is the territory I want the Conservative Party to be firmly placed on again. And as regards the European Convention on Human Rights, I have come to the firm conclusion that we will not secure our borders. We won't get foreign criminals out of our country. We won't tackle terrorism unless we do that. It is not reformable. It's an organisation of 46 countries, from Iceland to Andorra. You'll never get unanimity to change it, so you have to leave. And that is what I want to persuade the public of. If we don't do that, then I'm afraid we will not get a grip on those really important issues. And the public are not going to give us a second or a third chance if we don't take a serious action now to fix these problems.
Well, before you do that, you've got to persuade some of your parliamentary colleagues to vote for you and get you into that final two. So, is it a question, who do you want to see in that final? Who would you like to be up against? Or are you just in a position where it's the Keep Kemi Out campaign? Because the theory is that she'll be very, very popular when it comes to the membership.
Well, the arithmetic suggests that James Cleverly will be in the final, so there's a question now for my parliamentary colleagues as to who they want to have alongside James, whether it's myself or Kemi. Of course, I have great respect for Kemi. We do have different positions on some of these issues we've just discussed. I advocate, for example, leaving the European Convention on Human Rights. I think that's very important if we're going to get a grip on our borders. But the polling suggests that I am the best placed candidate to win back the voters that we've lost to reform, as well as those on the left as well. And there's a YouGov poll that came out only a week ago that showed that I was ahead of James Cleverly amongst the members. So I think I have a very clear path to winning the contest, and more importantly, because it's not about the party, this is actually about our country, to winning back voters more generally and getting us back into government. If we don't provide serious, credible leadership on these issues, we're going to be in the political wilderness for years, and our country will be in the hands of Keir Starmer, Rachel Reeves and the Labour Party for a very long time. I'm not prepared to allow that to happen.
What about this tension between the membership and the MPs? If, as you say, the arithmetic puts James Cleverly, who's most popular amongst MPs, in the final two, and the membership choose somebody else, aren't there lessons in history that this doesn't work well? IDS, Ian Duncan-Smith, Liz Truss, or even on the left, you see Jeremy Corbyn. Even the person who invented this system, William Hague, says it was a mistake and it doesn't work. How do you right that tension between the two?
Well, look, I respect the members of our party. I want to give them renewed role and respect. I don't want them to be cut out of this process. I have been touring the country, speaking to thousands of party members and listening to their views. The policies that I brought forward respond to their concerns, as they do the general public. And I want to ensure that our party is a more democratic organisation, a mass membership, proper campaigning organisation once again, and we return central office to the service of the members. That is my agenda. I do not want to cut out the membership. But I've also been very pleased to secure support from across the parliamentary party. So I think I'm uniquely well placed to have the confidence of the parliamentary party and to be giving voice to the concerns of the members as well.
Okay. Robert, I suppose a big concern was the infighting within the Conservative Party prior to the election. And people will be asking, if you don't win, if you don't become leader, could you still serve under someone who does?
Of course. Look, I believe in this party. I've been a member of it since I was 16 years of age. I want the party to succeed because the country needs strong opposition right now. But of course, I'm focused entirely on winning this because I think I am the best placed person to turn this party around and give it the strong and serious leadership, the credible leadership that it needs at this moment.
Well, we wish you luck. That result will come through at 3:30. We'll have it live here on GB News. For now, thanks very much, Robert
Thanks for your time today. Appreciate it.